Okay, guys, good morning. It's wet, ugly. It's Wednesday morning and it's wet. It's ugly out here. So definitely not, we're not doing any work today. Of course, I knew that yesterday. Pretty much not going to be doing anything all week. We might do a little something just to kind of help things out tomorrow and Friday if weather permitting. So, yeah, I mean, nothing going on, man, Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about this morning real quick. Okay, so on the man lift, I'm definitely going to get one. I've already paid for one. They're getting it ready for me now. They go through the machines and all. So they're going to go through it. I don't know if they're going to clean it up or what. The one I'm getting, it's 2014 JLG, and the reason why I went with the JLG is because it has the joystick, and when you're in the lift, to me, I'd rather have a joystick, than buttons, and that's the only one that I've ever rented was a JLG. So, and the dealer recommended that one too. So it's got 244 hours on it. I've seen these machines, get all the way up there where they got 900 hours, 1,000 hours on them, and it's still going strong. It's all electric. Of course, I could put a generator on it if I want to, but the generator don't do nothing but power the electric. So, yeah, and it runs off batteries, like golf cart batteries. So I've never had a problem with one, and I've rented one quite a few times. So I've had a lot of comments and a lot of people asking me, since I've been talking about getting a man lift. And people ask me, well, what about just hiring a tree climber? I think one guy, and he's a regular, and big shout out to him, he knows who he is. So he asked me, he said, well, wouldn't it be cheaper, just to hire a tree climber for $19, $20 an hour? Well, I don't know what part of the country or what, where I don't know anywhere where I get a tree climber for 19 bucks an hour. I mean, I don't, hell, I don't know anybody that'll climb trees. Well, there's a couple reasons why I wouldn't go that route. The number one reason is I got to be in control of the timing of the job. See, I can't let the climber's availability dictate whether I can do jobs or not. That's going to be the number one thing. So if I were just doing one tree job, then, I could probably, get away. You're not going to get away for no $20 an hour for a tree climber. It's more like 150 bucks an hour or something like that, but if I were doing one tree job, then that'd be different. But see, the reason why I'm buying a lift, because I know that I'm going to be doing more than that. I want to do more than that. I'm pushing to do more than that. I don't want to have to rely on another contractor to show up on the job and the timing and everything and all that. You lose money like that, if you ask me. True enough, $17,000 after tax and all, $17,000 don't get you much in the construction world. I'm just saying, y'all. So true enough, $17,000 is a lot of money, and it'll take a minute to get that money back. But it makes a lot more sense if you know, and I always talk about this in my videos, if you know what you're going to be doing. You got to know what you're going to be doing or what you're going to be pushing for. I'm pushing for this type of work, not so much tree you know, tree dropping, but I will and I can, and I've done it for many years, you know, drop trees and that kind of thing, trim trees. But see, the man lift puts you in a whole nother efficient category. And I talked about it a couple weeks ago when I was just, you know, scratching the surface of what all you can do with a man lift. A man lift is something that everybody don't have. So if you're almost like in a little niche there, as long as you can overcome the initial purchase of the man lift. Now, one of these man lifts, is the one I got, it's 35 foot, but that gives you a 40-foot reach and then 20 foot out. So that's a pretty big deal. It might not seem like a big deal. You know, people think, oh man, you know, $16,000, $17,000, man. Oh my God, man, dude, are you sure, man? Blah, blah, blah. Hire, you know. I don't care what anybody says, man. Labor and hiring labor, whether it be, you know, a tree guy, I don't want to do that because that's going to take from my bottom line. Eventually, I will recoup the money on the man lift. I mean, if I just get, if I just get, you know, 700 hours out of the machine, if I can put 500 or 600 hours on it myself, then I done got my money back. I guarantee it. So there's a couple more reasons why. Another reason why, other than the fact that I'm not in control of nothing when I'm dependent on a tree climber to show up at the job and all. Well, the tree climber's going to have to go look at the job before he can give me a number. You know, all these things, and all that takes time, man. And time, y'all know, time is money. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to have to meet with the tree climber and he can tell me he can do this for that and that for this and all that. And for the most part, where I live at, I can't speak for the United States, on the south side of Atlanta where I live at, a tree climber, he ain't going to work for nobody like me. Not one that's worth his grain and salt, that's got the equipment and everything, that knows what he's doing. He doesn't have to work for somebody like me. A tree climber that actually could climb the trees, well, most of the ones that I know, they're self-employed or they're making bank money with a tree company that keeps them busy. See, and also any of the independent tree climbers, you know, well, they know what they're worth, and if they don't know anything else, they know their worth. And you know, $20 an hour, that's not that's I don't think that's going to happen anywhere to get a tree climber, unless you're giving him, you know, even then I bet he makes more than that. Even if you can offer a tree climber 40 hours a week, you know, day in, day out, year round, I don't think that you're going to be able to get one for $20 an hour. I might be wrong. Another thing about the tree climbing business, and this is just from a business standpoint, is the tree climbing business for the climbers, well, there's no overhead. I mean, there's some, but there's not overhead like in the lawn care business. A tree climbing guy don't have to have $20,000 worth of equipment or even $5,000 worth of equipment. A tree climbing guy, you know, all he needs is a damn saw, some ropes, and some physical ability and some skill. That's what he needs, you know. He don't have to have lawnmowers and weed eaters and blowers and everything. He just has to have a couple of saws, some good chaps, and some spikes, and hell, he's in business, you know, and probably insurance, you know. He's in business, and he's making a lot more money on a job. I mean, these tree climbers out here where I live at, man, to be available in the places where you can't get a machine or you can't drop the tree, man, I've seen these guys charge you know, 1,500 bucks to drop to take down a tree that's in a strategic location. Yeah, and there's not, and take them 2 hours, but it's 2 hours of skill, of hardcore labor, because climbing trees, physically climbing trees, is some labor intensive work, y'all. You know, it really is. I've worked for tree climbers, I know. Hell, they pay their help. A tree climber, if he's independent, hell, he pays his help 20 bucks an hour. I can remember back in the early 90s, I worked for a tree climber, and he was paying me $15 an hour, and that was way back then. And I was just, hell, I didn't know nothing. I was the rope man on the ground, you know. I mean, he paid me 100 bucks a day, $120 a day. And hell, he'd work for about 2 or 3 hours, and he'd go home. So that's kind of what I'm saying, and why me, where I'm at, you know, in my business, and where I'm, you know, the niche I'm trying to get into. Well, if I'm going to hire a tree climber, then I ain't running nothing, and I can't get the most money. If I have to hire a tree climber to do individual jobs, and I have to wait on him to become available, well, what does a customer need me for? You know, and I'm sure there's a way that I can make money hiring a tree climber, but I'm not comfortable doing business like that. I can't do high volume and set up a bunch of work when I'm dependent on a skilled guy like that, because he might be busy somewhere else doing something else, and I got, you know, I need to do this job on Thursday. Well, he might not be available until next Thursday, and then, you know, and then the rain, the weather, and all that. Well, you know, I can't be putting a job off dependent on that. You know, that's kind of what I'm saying. But that's another reason why I'm doing that, and that's why I'm doing it, buying a lift. You know. So another reason why I'm buying a lift, well, other than the fact that I can make more money if I got the lift, other than the fact that the lift will pay for itself, it's just a matter of time, you know, is at the end of the day, I may be able to use this lift and put, like I said, 5, 6, 7, 800 hours on it, and then I can sell it, you know. Hiring a climber, unless I can keep him on full time, which I can't even keep Drew on full time. Hiring a climber is the equivalent of renting. I don't want to rent a house, a piece of equipment, a truck, a car, or nothing. I don't want to rent nothing. I want to always be the owner if I can. Now, sometimes you can't, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, buying a lift versus hiring a climber, well, at the end of the day, I will be able to sell the lift. I won't be able to sell the climber, you know, so I can make my money that I got in the lift back, right? And then I can make a few thousand more. I mean, this is just worst case scenario, make a few thousand more. And then I can turn around and sell the lift for 10 grand on a quick sale. You know, you're not gonna be able to, every time you pay a tree climber, that money's gone. You ain't gonna never get it back. Gone. Just like when you pay rent on something, gone. And you're not any better off than what you were at the end of the day. You don't have anything tangible, you know, to sell at the end of the day. To you're basically, at the end of the day, man, I guess in a nutshell, is you ain't running shit. And one of the key things to being an entrepreneur, at least my mindset, and I'm talking about me, is I want to be running shit. I want to be in charge of shit. That day, I'll take the bad with the good on that. You know, I want to be in charge of timing. I don't want to be held down because a climber, you know, is not available. So I can't take this job because the climber's not available till 2 weeks from now. And then, you know, something might come up then too. But if I got a man lift, then I can set a time and everything.
770.
I hate getting disrupted like that because then I forget where I was at with this conversation here. So like I was saying, you know, having a tree climber is the same as, to me, just to me, is the same as renting something. It's an expense that I don't want to pay because I'm never going to own it. You know, and some people are not for owning stuff. See, I'm all about owning the equipment. I want to own it. I don't want to, you know, pay on things and not ever have the option to own it. I'm never going to own a tree climber. So, you know, there's that, you know. It's just, and again, if I was just doing one tree job, or I had, you know, 100 tree jobs, well, then I might think a little bit different. But see, tree jobs come up all the time in my line of work, and I have to turn them down because it's not enough tree work to justify a climber. And it's not enough money there to justify renting a piece of equipment. So, you know, that's, you know, and any climber, I don't know what they make per hour if they work for a company, but the biggest thing with a climber is, if they work for a big company, is that the company's guaranteeing them a salary. I ain't gonna guarantee a tree climber a salary. I want to be able to pick and choose the jobs that I want, and I can't let the tree climber's ability or not dictate what jobs I take. In a nutshell, that's kind of, you know, I don't worry. I mean, you know, nobody, you know, wants to spend big money on equipment, but spending big money on equipment for my little niche that I'm trying to get into. Well, I've been doing trees for years, ever since I was a teenager, but I can't do a lot of them because I don't climb them anymore, and I don't do things outside that's sketchy, you know. Of course, with the Bobcat, I take on a little bit more because the Bobcat can pull them down. I have a what they call a big shot, slingshot. I can shoot a throw line up into the tree, pull them down, I got all the roping and all the rigging and everything. I can just about pull any tree over that I'm willing to take on. Some trees are so big and so close to the house and so close to this and that you gotta have a climber. And those are the jobs I'm not going to take on, because there's a lot of other jobs out here that's a lot easier and not nearly as much liability. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope this clears it up for some people. Just my thoughts on that. You know, and you know, that's my thinking. I'm just being honest. I'm not being a smart aleck. I'm not being cocky. I'm not being a know-it-all. I'm just saying that is my thinking. The number one thing about being an entrepreneur and making sure that you direct your resources to make money is being in control of everything. And some people might call that a control freak. Well, I can't think of anybody to be in control of my business than me. So that's more qualified to be in control of my business than me. I can't think of no one. So, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a biscuit, and I got another little subject I'm gonna talk about today too, on a video that I saw, and I'll get back with you, man. Peace out.